Hello and welcome to Theme Park Information. In today's show we've got a review for Alton Towers located in the UK. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more content on the channel. And right, let's get into it. So I'm actually going to start this off really strangely, and the fact that I actually had a really good day at Alton Towers, and one of the driving factors for that, I think, was because it could have gone the complete opposite way. Look at the weather forecast before going. It potentially had thunderstorms, heavy rain, really high humidity, and thankfully none of that happened until we were pretty much going. So I will be honest, I think that's one of the reasons I had such a good day, is because of how bad it could have gone. And also, the park was looking really clean, tidy, well presented. They had really good operations. Actually had, a lot of fun on the rides. They seemed to be running really well. And the park actually seemed to be really well organised and operated at the moment. I can't really pick apart too many little things. There's a couple of things here and there, but nothing major. It was, actually a really good day at Alton Towers. One of those sort of days you have where it's like, I really enjoy the park when it's like this. However, far too often I have it where there's been, rides break down and close like all over the place. That did happen a little bit. Nemesis did unfortunately close, and at one point Galactica was also shut. Which obviously these things do happen, but it was nowhere near as bad as it has previously been when I visited. Talking of some of the roller coasters, I'm going to have my own separate review for the Smiler, Nemesis, Galactica and Wicker Man. Just effectively updating them and modernising them for this year. So they should be on the channel soon. So let's also get back to the video, and we're going to start off with some more positives as well. So I actually will be honest, the app is extremely good, and I'd highly recommend downloading that first. It gives you really accurate ride times, and also it's GPS. If you ever get lost, you can use it to find your way. I also will say, and a bit of a switch, but on the same topic, that the Wi-Fi or internet connection in the park is pretty ropey. It kept dropping in and out. So maybe watch out for that. And it was really awkward at the park entrance, where despite having the tickets what I thought downloaded, then it took ages for them to load up, which did slow us down getting in, or myself slowed down going in a little bit. But got it sorted in the end. I actually also will be honest, I was a huge fan of how they did the car parking, where they just had someone operating the barrier, and you just had to show them, as opposed to you faffing about trying to scan like a ticket. That actually worked really well, and it was such a little detail on the way out. I was like, this actually is pretty good. I also actually like the fact you can still very comfortably walk to the main entrance, and in fact, if anything, I think they've improved the walkway a little bit. I actually, as a flip side of that, on the monorail, I think it actually could do with a bit of updating and a bit of livening up. It could also possibly do with a few more bins around. It looked a little bit, so it was right at the end of the day, so I kind of have a bit of sympathy, but it's one of those things where it's like, probably could do with being just a tiny bit better and try to be a bit more colourful and vibrant. Just a little thing. I will also say that the park, for the most part, was really clean and tidy and well presented. Also, I kind of found it really strange that some really random queue areas were opened up for most of the rides. So, for example, on Galactica, we were literally queuing right over the hills and over towards the car park, which I don't think I've queued up that way for, literally since it opened. So yeah, that was really strange. I haven't had that, as I said, for years. A little bit like the Smiler, where for some reason we went all the way up through the little caravan at the top and then back down towards where the entrance is, where you usually just go through the entrance and queue. I also will say I still absolutely hate the fact that Smiler just feels like a kind of a bit of a cage for some of it. Really irritating, and it could also possibly do with a bit more theming in that sort of area to give you something to look at, or have a few more screens or something. Just something a little bit more engaging than what it has. But it's not too bad. I will be honest, I'm actually quite a big fan, even though I didn't go on them, of their effectively temporary rides that they added. I think it's a really solid idea from the park to effectively tie them over, get more guests into the, get more guests, and also divide the queue up a little bit more. And I will be honest, they obviously did recently update the kids area. They filmed it around David Williams, and they've opened up Gangster Granny. Didn't go to that area of the park because wasn't particularly interested in going it, and it did have a ridiculous queue for most of the day. So I'd highly recommend not going there until right at the end. But for the most part, I will say it was a really good ride-related day. Talking of food, I will be honest, we actually had a bit of a plan of effectively eating late and going to the roller coaster restaurant. However, it was actually fully booked, and I did hear from another guest that apparently it had been that way for months. And I will say that maybe having a sign out front or a sign outside the restaurant itself would have been really handy. I do appreciate it's just a little bit of nitpicking, but on the positive side of that, I actually managed to get ice cream, which was massive and pretty affordable, considering you're in a trapped in the theme park where they could charge whatever. Just like, oh wow, I was waiting for that to be like, ridiculous, and it wasn't, and they gave me massive scoops as well. Can't complain there. But I will be honest, I did also manage to get buy one get one free tickets as well, which is always something you need to look out for Alton Towers. They usually have it with cereals and stuff like that. Highly recommend looking at that, and also you can book online as well. The park was pretty busy. Again, they actually handled the crowds pretty well for the most part. I actually am thinking about maybe having a video talking about how Alton Towers handles COVID and stuff like that, potentially, and reviewing it, because obviously people might have questions about that. So I'm thinking about doing that video. Obviously, if that's something you'd like to hear about, do comment down below of that. And my overall impressions of the park were actually really positive. It's been quite a while since I've been to Alton Towers and had, if you like, a really solid, good, fun, enjoyable day where I've been able to get on a lot of rides and effectively not feel like we're under huge time pressure or loads of frustration with like long queues and ride breakdowns. So it was actually quite nice to have a pretty ordinary day at the park, and massively helped by the fact that my expectation was that we could be rained out as well, and it didn't happen. So with all that in mind, I actually really enjoyed Alton Towers. If I had to score the park, it'd probably be like an 8 out of 10, and my day at the park could probably be also an 8 out of 10 as well. Like overall, really positives. As I said, I'll be uploading various ride reviews in the coming videos, and if you also would like to see like the Alton Towers COVID related review, I could also add that a future date. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed the content. I'll catch you guys on the next one.